Welcome to
Thank
the space.
you.
Welcome, Andrea Magee.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me
I know.
back.
You're like the most frequented guest, I think.
We just need to hang out more.
I know. Like, hey, Andrea, I miss you. Do you want to come on the show again?
Yes, please. Always.
I love it. But welcome to the new space. And
the new space is magical, as are you.
Thank you. As are you. Speaking of, we're going to talk about She Rises for this first part, and then at the end we'll kind of catch up on the millions of other things that you have going on. But this episode is for those of you out there that are curious about She Rises, maybe that haven't been, or if you have been. It's a new venue this year, so I wanted to have Andrea on and kind of dig into the details, because now's the time to plan.
Yeah, make that choice.
Get those tickets. And so let's kind of jump in.
Yeah, so we are coming into our third year. I still have pinch myself moments, like, oh my goodness, but everything is really flowing beautifully this year. You know, getting something off the ground takes a lot of energy, especially something with this magnitude.
Sure.
But now coming into this third year, it's just like, it just feels like it's just like kind of floating up, you know? So we've moved the date and we have moved the venue. So we're still in Taos, New Mexico. We've moved it to July 17, 18, and 19.
Right.
We did feel a bit of, competition with Labor Day weekend. There's a lot, that kind of is a conflict for some people. That's the feedback that we got. So we just found this weekend in July, and it worked really well with the venue. We decided to take it from the park out to this beautiful, the best view of the mountain in Taos venue. And that spoke to me so deeply, because as much as I love the park, you don't really get the feeling of Taos when you're there. You know, you are right in the center of the town, but you're not. For me, Taos is about the colors and the terrain and the earth.
And the simplicity of where we were staying last year, when you walk out the front door, it's just those beautiful, succulent colors.
And it's very vast.
Yes, and very simple.
And open.
Yes.
And I like that. So that is exactly what the new venue is all about. And I think that if you have that running through your DNA, that you are an open person and you have an open heart and you are very connected to nature and connected to yourself, I feel like you will feel Taos very deeply. I did the first time I ever got there. So, and that was 6 years ago. I fell in love with it and I couldn't really understand. I was like, what is this? It was just a feeling and a sensation. And I do believe it is the openness of the terrain that exists. So and there's a saying that if the mountain accepts you, you fall in love with Taos. Yeah. So she's a woman, she's a pregnant lady, that's the shape of her. So if she accepts you, you fall in love with her. So the new venue is Taos Solar Center, which is now Dali. It is an outdoor venue right at the base of the mountain. We also have an indoor space so that if there is any kind of rain, we can move it all inside.
Fantastic.
It's just so beautiful. I was there this weekend and everything's in bloom. And it's intimate and it's smaller. So it's more contained. So we're all really going to feel like a group, like a really close group. We're bringing in a big stage for outside and all the decor of She Rises to get the vibes going. But yeah, so this year we're coming into our third. It's sherisesfest.com, July 17, 18, 19, and it's at Taos Solar Center, now known as Dali.
Awesome. And you have the website, which is tons of information, and we'll kind of go over some of the bigger pieces. Like last year, there were tons of dogs. This year, new venue, no dogs.
No, they're dog lovers, but
yes,
there's a restaurant there as well. So I think it was that was a tough call.
Yeah.
I think service dogs are allowed.
Oh yeah, I think but bring chairs, bring blankets.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have last year? You know how we had little satellite areas. So is that gonna be the same?
There's gonna be one main photograph opportunity little area that everyone's going to want to take photos at. And I'm bringing extra photographers this year because this is a photo that you'll frame in your house with your loved one.
Dang
We're just gonna have to transport you.
I know.
I'm still not accepting it. I'm still like, good job. We'll see you.
that darn scheduling conflict. I can't
know.
move it, but I'm so bummed.
But you know what? I really do feel like we found our feet this year, and it feels like this is exactly what She Rises is meant to be.
Oh, wonderful.
And I feel like the last couple of years we were still building it, and it was taking a lot from me. Just emotionally, I can't help but give my whole heart to something. And now it feels like it's just kind of, it's its own little essence, its own little bloom. And I do now believe that it's just going to kind of grow on its own. So there'll be a 2026.
Okay.
I already know there will be.
Good.
I'm not going into this one going, I'm not sure. I'm like, being in Taos this weekend, I felt the love for it. I felt the support. We're keeping it organic and small. And the people that choose to go are so invested.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, I feel like the luckiest person in the world. I'm like, oh, you get it. This was a little vision in my mind.
Yeah.
And you get it. And I had so many people this weekend come up to me and be like, thank you for bringing this here. And I'm like, well, it's not just me, but I to be able to feel that from people, I'm like, oh, we don't need this to be massive. We just need it to be meaningful.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I remember interviewing you last year outside of the trailers, and you were feeling that, and you were talking about like that panel that we did and how it was just, you really started to see last year the shared vision that you could choose people and say, hey, go do that, and you trusted, and you just knew that that whole park was full of people that shared your vision, and that you were exercising that trust to just kind of hand it to us, those of us that did stuff.
You make me really emotional.
and so I feel so fortunate to be able to have been there, especially during that. I wasn't at the first one, but that second one was really special because I feel like the fire got bigger.
Did.
Definitely.
Emotionally bigger. And for me, like, knowing that I have the most incredible people in my world that want to be a part of this is the greatest gift I could ever wish for. I this wasn't on my vision board when I was a little girl. I've always just been like, I want to be a performer, I want to write music since I was really young, and I still need to do that very deeply, and that is still my whole, like, that's the center pillar, and then these other pillars have popped up on the sides that I'm now like, oh my goodness, people want to be a part of this pillar alongside me. This is honestly, it's hard to even comprehend it. I'm just deeply, deeply moved by all of the people that I have around me and the people that just keep coming into the fold. Yeah. And it's the right people, it's like, oh, wow, you get it. Yeah. And I can just be like, go be your brilliant self. Because I see you, because I see so much brilliance in people that I'm like, if I have anything to share, it's yours. Like, it's like, we are all here as one. Like, we're all connected. So if an opportunity falls into my lap, I'm like, oh wow, I don't want to do this alone. How can I share this with everybody? I never want to do anything alone. So I'm like, well, actually, no, some things I'm getting to that. But no, I love bringing people in and sharing whatever opportunity that I have been blessed to be given.
Yeah. Do you see any future for doing it in any other cities?
I do.
Do you think we would ever do one here? Or like
I do.
Do you think about that? I know it's still a lot to think about just doing one, but
I think once we get it off the ground, I think the next stage is going to be this traveling She Rises songwriter show, which we already have done one, and it was a huge success in Taos. So I had like Eliza Gilkison, Shay Fiol from Florida Talache, and Grace Pettis. I already have one in the works for Austin with Gina Chavez, Rosie Flores, and maybe some others. I'm not sure yet, but we've already been talking. So, and then I have one in the works for California at the Belly Up. Like, I have all these little seeds planted that I feel like the next possible location might just pop out of one of those.
Yeah, kind of organically.
When you see where the want is for it. So yeah, the answer is yes, but I'm just not sure the time frame.
Yeah. I like the idea of these little satellite troops kind of going and representing and spreading the word, and that's really, really smart.
Well, especially when Taos is such a location that, if you get it, you get it, you know. And if it's out on the West Coast and someone's like, oh, it's She Rises, and they're like, oh, I love like everybody I speak to is like, oh, Taos.
How could you not?
Yeah, some people don't get it, but yeah, same. I'm like, oh, I saw colors for the first time when I first got there. Literally felt like I got a new palette. I walked out the first day and was like, I've never seen that blue before.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I feel like it's hard to, it sounds overplaying it, but it really truly is. The air and everything is just so different and magical. And then you walk into the space of She Rises. I remember day one, you know, showing up and coming into the park and, you know, getting to talk to people and be sort of cat on the street and like, and just go up to everybody, like strangers, and get a sense of who comes and interview them and find out where they're from. And we had people from all over the country, men and women, and I loved seeing the men there.
Yeah, I would love to.
It was a real special kind of man that was there. And shout out to the men that come to this, because they just, it was just like that, just really, really special quality about them.
I really agree with you, and I would love to get that out to the world a bit more. Men, we love you.
We do.
We really do. And like every man that was there, for me, was like
extra attractive.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was like, look at that man over there. Like, he's just standing there. Whew.
Well, there's something really beautiful about, like, I think we have this sort of, you know, one definition of masculinity, and it feels very one-dimensional and flat, and it's just, like, not it from a women's perspective. For me, masculinity is this, it's like, it's strong and tender, and a man that can do those things and hold both of those truths,
and support and celebrate without the ego being at the forefront. You know, we have to live with that ego, but to actually, you know, balance it and go, wow, this is, you know, we're all here to celebrate each other. Yeah. You know, and I'm with you.
It's really, really beautiful to see that. So I could go on and on.
I feel it.
But men come, go.
You're literally going to feel like
spell.
Yeah. It's sort of like the man. You're just going to be levitating. You're going to feel like a rock star. Like, yeah. There were a couple there last year that I was just like. Anyway, if you're watching, please come back. I didn't get your number. Oh my God, Carol,
that's so funny.
But yes. I really do want people to know that it is literally, the whole essence of this festival is to uplift women in the music industry, just to even out the scales. It is. I spoke with Eliza Gilkison. We did a lovely little interview. And she was like, it is an even playing field now. Women are showing up with exactly the same amount of talent. We are all on the same level. Yet, we just have to make by doing, we're showing that, you know, now. So the change is happening. So that's really all this is. It's really just like evening out that scale, but in no way creating any sort of division when it comes to our audience. Oh, yeah. You know, the absolute opposite is what we want. Like, it'd be like, everybody should just come up and, like, how can you not celebrate the feminine?
I know. There would be nobody
Earth
here.
We wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So
it's a fair point. Yeah. Let's name some of the people. So we have a host of folks that are from here, such as yourself and Carrie Hudson and Paige DeChaussee, and I have Leanne Atherton, Patrice Pike, Patricia Vaughn, Rosie Flores, and then we have Gina Chavez. Some of the bands that are playing: Heartless Bastards, Big Richard,
the Secret Sisters, Florida Talache. So you've got an all-female mariachi band.
Okay,
unbelievable. So all-female mariachi band. Like, talk about like virtuoso instrumentalists and singers, like Mariah Carey style singers.
Holy
it's one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen. Okay. So excited about them. And then we have like a couple of other local. We have Big Violet, which are from Taos. We have King Margot, which are from Colorado area. And I'm sure Grace Pettis is coming in from Nashville.
Yes. Eliza Gilkison.
And we also have Miranda Dawn from Dawn and Hawks is joining Pac's set.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Then for the panel this year, we've actually invited the women of Taos. So Taos have a award ceremony where they award women who have done outstanding work within the Pueblo, the indigenous communities, just outstanding work in the community. I attended it this year and was just in tears. And then I've decided to invite them along to be the panel this year, so that we're bringing the local community in as well. What
a way to glue this together and really marry it with the town, even more than it already is.
Yeah, it felt right this year. It felt I've been spending much more time there, and you know, I was trying to figure out like what is my draw, like why am I so in love with Taos, and I recently found out that the Pueblo sent money to Ireland during the potato famine to help them survive.
Really?
Yeah. And I feel in my bones, I can get emotional about it now. I feel like somehow I can connect. I don't know. There's something about that I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's why I want to give back. Because you might have saved one of my ancestors and I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know?
Like deeply
energetic
rooted. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, but like I find that out and I was like, there it is. There's that little missing piece of the puzzle of why I feel so drawn to this part of the world.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, what else can we tell folks? So the VIP event is on the 17th. So the main general admission is 18th and 19th.
So yeah, we have actually made it bigger this year in the sense of it's longer. So we've got 2 full days of music. And then on the Thursday is the VIP only. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful night, a really special night with Pac and King Margot. And it's just going to be the kickoff party. And that's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a 3-day festival. Basically, if you choose VIP, you upgrade to that ticket. So you get your own little area for the entire festival with VIP, and you get drink services. We're actually putting on waitresses and waiters.
Yeah.
So
and there's couches. Is that going to be the same?
It's a little different sizing this year because of the way that it all. But I'm sure there will be a few. Yeah, and then we'll use them at the photo ops as well. But yeah, my art person Clay, I love Clay so much.
We just saw him at your birthday party.
Oh yeah. So Clay is my hero. And he was asking me, so what are we thinking this year? Because I have never met anyone in my life that I can just be like, almost feel like a
dream.
I just I look at him and he's downloaded what I want in my brain. And he knows the colors that I want, which is so important. And I was like, Clay, we cannot compete with the backdrop. We literally just have the mountain. Your job's done. But we'll make it really beautiful. But honestly, the mountain is so spectacular that it's just that's going to be a big feature of this year's festival. So imagine the most vibrant, dynamic music underneath a mountain, filled in a beautiful, intimate space of support and love.
Yeah.
That, you're just going to plug in to really beautiful energy and you're going to leave feeling completely vibrant.
Buzzing. The Indigenous choir, we're going to do that again.
Yes.
So I could barely hold it together during that.
I was in the middle of it going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I rewatched the video that the gorgeous Ray sisters did last year. It's up, so you can actually go on the website and you can see a wonderful recap of last year. And in that is you. And you look like you're concentrating on holding it together while you're surrounded by these.
It was so powerful. People. And I'm a little Irish woman in the middle of it with my Irish drum. And then I do have a very steady sense of pace and beat. So once I started hitting the drum, I knew that they were kind of building that around me. But it was very new for me. I was I'm in the middle of these Indigenous powerful women. Yeah. And also it's the thing we were talking about. I always get this little imposter why are you here?
You don't belong.
Yeah, am I good enough? Am I okay to be here? Why am I here? Why did I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I look out and I'm like, come on over. Everybody come in.
Yeah. Don't leave me alone.
Well, it's just I don't know. I have this thing of I want to be chosen, and then I'm like, oh, do I deserve to be chosen, or should I be? You know what I mean? I don't know.
do.
I'm very sensitive. So.
I do, and at the same time, I think, I've sat and talked to so many people at this point, and I think probably every single one of them feel that same way. And as someone who gets to see you from such a different perspective, right? Like, we can never see ourselves the way that other people see us. It's so bizarre. But, like, I would love to click my fingers and just make that go away for you. Yeah. At the same time, does it serve you in any way?
It probably drives a lot of my drive. Like, I feel like there's a bit of that is a bit of fuel for me to kind of
like, to fight against, or
maybe it's like kind of proving. Like, there's like, and I'm definitely working on this in therapy. But yeah, there's been an element of me my entire life that has always felt like I had to, like, just prove that I was worth it, like, because I started as an athlete. Like, I started in dance, first of all. I was a dancer, Irish dancing and then Latin dance. And then I always played music and wrote songs, but that was like a place to put my emotions. But then I was very heavily involved in sport. And I wasn't necessarily the most academic, where my sisters are incredibly academic. And I always kind of felt like I was just the really creative little one. And I think something happened that I started to become a bit of an overachiever, because I was like, okay, hi. Or I don't even know, but like, I was like, when I was 14, I was selected for like the under 20s netball, like this basketball team, the sport I played. And like, I look back at it now and I'm like, I was so determined. I would get home from school, I would pick up the ball, I would not do my homework, and I would just pass it. And my mom would be like, dinner. And I'm like, no. Just completely like, I have a task to do to get good. I don't want to let my team down, because I was the captain. And that started from a very early age for me. So I wonder, I don't know, we're getting very deep into this now.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I love your flame. I love your flame. And I think you use it, I think we all have stuff that we're trying to kind of untangle, of course. But it sure does, that what comes out of you creatively, besides a music festival, whenever I see you perform, I pretty much always have tears in my eyes at some point. So whatever it is that's fueling you, I feel like you're using it for good, And it's just, there's something about you, there's something about that voice of yours, like, it hits a frequency in me, and I know it hits a frequency in other people. And it's just like, I keep coming back for more. Like, it's like feeds me.
And I think that, thank you. I think that...
thank you.
But I think that I probably have been coming from different places, So I think maybe for the last few years, I've been coming from a bit more of that energy source, and it's very different now. And I don't feel like I'm coming from that anymore. And I had a beautiful experience at the weekend where, again, that little imposter is like, you can, I'm very hard on myself. So like, I'll play the drum and I know that I can play that really well. And someone was like, oh, well, you're like an Olympic athlete at that, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Thank you very much. But like, I was really, for some reason, really nervous about the fact that my songs weren't strong enough this weekend. This was like a little insecurity.
This was like the story you were saying.
This was that little imposter. Like, yeah, well, you can sing, you can play, you can do this, but yeah, are your songs good? And, but then after the show, and I know that I'm no poet or anything like that, but I'm very honest. And after the show, this wonderful musician came up to me and he was on my right the entire time, and he's, I admire him. And he was like, anybody that watches you cannot be anything but completely open. You are completely open. And you encourage us to be completely open. Your songs opened me up. He was like, I needed this so much.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, wow. Because I had been like kind of giving myself a hard time in my own head when I was, thinking about my craft. And then this person just like is like, no, you open. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like, I don't really.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying, is that he said it perfectly. I think that's what happens to me is you open me up. And so, I mean, it just releases.
I've never had it said to me, and I was able to accept it.
Good.
I really was. I really heard it, and I was like, oh, me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I do.
Yes. I want you to like write that on a Post-it note and stick it on your bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
And I want you to see that every day and remind yourself that you do that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Andrea, you're power, pure power. I just love you.
I love you too. It's we're channeling, right? We as I say, like I do feel like we're all just part of one, and I think that being a part of this human race can make us doubtful, and we can get caught up in that. And the more open I am feeling, and the more healing that I'm doing in my own inner work, the more I feel like I actually feel like I'm opening up more. Like I genuinely feel like I'm just walking around with this open heart, like and not scared, you know, because it's like, oh well, I'm protected. I'm protected because I've done the work, you know.
So beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I think I'm not gonna let her leave.
I think I'm gonna leave. Let's get a bottle of wine.
Let's go. Right. I love it. What else can we tell people about She Rises? And then I want to spend a couple minutes talking about just all the other stuff that you do, because you're a machine.
So as we've said, we've moved the venue. It's spectacular. It's still in Taos, New Mexico. They actually have JSX flights on this year, telling me about that. Which is for travel options. Is incredible. If you're coming from Austin, there is a direct flight on Thursday, and it's the most magic. It's the closest you'll ever get to feeling like you own your own plane.
A private.
Yeah, you turn up 20 minutes before your flight. There's no TSA. There's no security.
What?
Yeah, you jump on. There's 30 seats on the plane. It gets you to the venue. It's 5 minutes from our venue.
Is it
JSX Air?
JSX Air.
And they also fly from Dallas. They usually only do it in the ski season. And I want to give a shout out to Belinda Hare, because I asked her to keep emailing them.
Hi, Belinda.
And I think, Belinda, you actually cracked JSX to keep it going this year, so you're amazing.
I love you, Belinda, so much.
Yeah, me too. How can you not?
Oh my God.
But yeah, so that's another plus for us this year. We've got that JSX Air, and then there's also all the other airlines, and the drive from Albuquerque or Santa Fe is beautiful.
Oh yeah, I've done it, and it's fantastic.
Yes,
and stop through Santa Fe.
It also opens you up. Like you cannot drive through that gorge and not be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very small. That boulder is massive.
Right.
I thank you, world, for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah, you start jumping into perspective real quick. Just also too, if you're coming from Austin, it's just geographically, it's total different geography. You're just, it's almost like another planet.
It is. It's kind of like a Mars vibe.
A little Star Trek-y.
Yeah, this has got Mars because of that rusty clay.
Yeah.
You know?
I did a photo shoot years ago in that area, and the photographer had me like down in, I had never been in a arroyo.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what an arroyo is?
Oh, well, the place that I was staying is Arroyo Seco. So is an arroyo just like a deep well?
It's like we went down and there were like, they're almost like vertical caves.
Oh,
with those deep things, and you kind of go, and but that's all that gorgeous
I want to see
red.
This photo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's kind of cool photos.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm like, well, tell me more.
And I just remember, like, that whole photo shoot, I was like, I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I was like, I feel like I'm on Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, when they land? It's gorgeous.
So we're doing a little series also on our Instagram, which is at She Rises Fest, with highly recommended spots to go and visit. So like favorite coffee spot, favorite breakfast spot, favorite boutiques. I found one this weekend that I just it blows my mind. I can't wait to go back.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like so getting your festival clothing, pop into these. So we're doing a little series on our social media, so make sure you check that out. And I want this to feel like a family that we're building, a community that we're building. So don't be afraid to reach out, Yeah. We don't have a big team, but they're loyal and they're true. And
and people can reach out to me too. Reach out to me, and then I'll either answer your question or connect you, or I'll text her and ask what the answer is, and then I'll respond. Or Also, there's a Facebook group that I want to kind of guide people toward, because that might be a good place. That I've even noticed that someone posted recently where they're like caravanning, you know?
Yeah.
And so maybe if you want to go, but you don't want to go alone, or you want to drive with somebody, you know, get yourself in the community there too.
And on that as well, we have had some lodging partners come in this year that are brand new. There is a amazing vintage 5-star Airstream park called Luna Mystica. It's 5 minutes from the venue, and they're giving 10% off. And I mean, these trailers, Airstreams, are magical.
I know. I'm so pissed.
They're so magical. And there's a couple of other hotels that are doing, if you buy a ticket, you get 15% off. So they want us to do well. The town is supporting us.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
The last thing, there's a couple of us are releasing new music on that day. I will be releasing a brand new single called Wild Woman at my show. So get ready for that.
Yes. What else do you have kind of going on? That's it for She Rises. Now let's go real quick, because I want to know what else you have going on.
So She Rises obviously takes up a lot, and the music helps. We are still doing our weekly concerts at Helping Hand Home, and then monthly at Dell Children's Hospital. So that is like, as I say, in my life, I feel like there's these 3 pillars. There's the She Rises Music Festival, there's me and my music, and relationships, life, everything is in this one. And then the nonprofit on the other side. Nonprofit's doing really beautifully. I love how it's growing and evolving in the right ways.
How can people directly, if they just want to pump money into the nonprofit?
Yeah, so the nonprofit, we're here for your tax deductible donations, friends. You just go to the website musichealpsatx.org, and you can donate, and you'll go into our system, and then you'll get connected, and you'll get sent all of the events. We're going to do a big Music Helps birthday bash. So Music Helps turned 2 this year.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to get Clay to come on board, and we're going to plan a really special event here in Austin.
Okay, great.
For Music Helps, with some beautiful music. Once we get She Rises over, that'll be like the next big thing. But really celebrating the fact that in 2 years we have had really accelerated growth. And it's really beautiful, and we've employed a lot of local musicians. We've offered steady employment, steady income. And then now that that's kind of working on its own in a beautiful way, and so She Rises, I have been in the studio making a new record, and I am so excited about how it's turning out. It took me a while to get back to that headspace, and it's only been in the last 2 weeks that I've kind of gone in, and I got one of my mixes for the first time, and I had this moment where I was like, that's me.
Oh, shit.
Like you hear yourself so much, because that's you're wearing all the hats, you're managing. I've always kind of self-managed, even with management deals. But I've never had a moment where I like put the car, like I put it on, and I don't know. I listened, and I was like, that's me. It was so bizarre. And the thing is, everybody else might think it's shit. I don't know, but I didn't. I was like, oh, that's my voice.
It's all that matters, Andrea.
Yeah, and
honestly,
I've never ever had that like little like my whole body froze, and I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Yay. And the thing is, it might never go anywhere, but it was a moment in time that I got to go, I get to do this. This is, yeah. My gratitude is my well of gratitude is overflowing right now in life. And I think it's coming through the sound and the tone in my voice when I sing, because my heart is feeling it, you know?
Yeah, this is a new threshold you're crossing over, and I'm so excited. But it's really cool to hear you say that, because I think, I'll speak for myself. I look at you and I do not see imposter. I look at you and I am like in awe, genuinely in awe. It almost makes me want to cry. Me too. But even someone like you that I hold in such high regard, and you are so high functioning, and your output is so strong, to hear you be able to articulate that you still have to, at the end of the day, kind of sit your butt back in that intersection of gifts and passion and why you do this, and that you have to like it. and that you can have those moments where Andrea likes Andrea, like that is so, like, that's valuable and refreshing for me to hear. And I really think for any creative out there that's listening to that, because you come across when you walk into the room as if we just assume that you hold that.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny.
But you know, it's like the biggest star on the planet still has those quiet moments where it's like, that's me.
Well, I think that we present very well. I present very well. I know how to, you know, what most people see of me is my online marketing. You know, not a lot of people sit with me and have a coffee or, you know, and I'm not against that, but it's not realistic.
Sure.
But when you truly get to, I know how to, like, it's just a marketing thing. I know how to present the package for anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that deep down, like inside, there's just this little vulnerable, gentle, big-hearted girl going, hi. Like, and I'm sure it's been a survival technique to, like, present. Well, you don't really want me coming on Instagram and being like, oh, I fucking hate myself. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, that's the thing. When you really get to know a person, I think you really get to know that truth, you know, and rather than the survival technique that we're trying to make it in the industry, we have to be confident.
It's a hustle.
And so a lot of it is real. You know, I am able to, like, switch the light on. The light comes on very organically.
And it is you.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, like, I wake up in the morning and it's a dynamic whirlwind, you know? It's a roller coaster ride because if one thing's going well in your life, there's probably another that maybe isn't kind of flourishing. So, like, I'm very aware of it all, you know? I love all the light parts, and I'm starting to dive into, like, the darker pain parts and realize that they're just as powerful, and they really can help heal you as well, rather than just avoiding them and going, no, I'm great, I'm going to be all confident. But actually the reality is, no, I really struggle, and I think everybody really struggles.
Yeah, we do.
And so you can be like, you're full of shit when I'm walking like that.
You're like, I know, and I'm also awesome. It's that Gemini light and dark thing that I love about you so much. So, you know, here's to just diving into both.
Here's to just being real, like authentically real at all avenues. You know, that's definitely what I'm aiming for. And I have a strong sense of myself. I always have had that since I was a kid, and I'm very, very grateful that was something that my upbringing, living in Ireland, my friends, my family, like, I don't doubt who I am. I just don't like her all the time, and that's something that when you said, like, I like Andrea likes Andrea, like, that's the work, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's mine too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people watching this, thank you for
Come to She Rises and you'll get healed. That's what we're offering. Buy a ticket, you get some healing.
Yeah, and watch this, you get some free therapy.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Wild Woman is coming.
Wild Woman is the release that's coming out at She Rises Festival. I have been honored and lucky to be a witness to her performing this at PAC on a Thursday night at Saxon Pub.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with this song the first time that I heard you
It's
sing
a song that I am...
You are calling up the ancestors.
It's like, it's so alive in me right now and that's the beautiful thing about creativity and music. Like, a feeling is a feeling, and then for an artist, whatever your form of art is, if you bring that feeling into the artistic expression, whatever that looks like, songs, paintings, dance, drama, poetry, whatever, to bring it into the world of art, and you can truly embody it, something happens. And with this song, I genuinely feel like it's changed a part of my being. Like, I woke something up, and she was laying sleeping for a while, and I needed to give her a little rattle, and now I'm like, holy shit, Lily, can you chill out? But Wild Woman has arrived.
I am so excited.
Yeah, Yeah, she's definitely here, and she's in us all, every single person, man or woman. You have that, just that like complete and utter let go, like the freedom to go. You can't. No one's going to reject you here. No one's going to judge you. Just fucking be yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. Like this song's definitely in the more sensuality realm, but it can go in every avenue of your life, you know?
Whoever you are.
But just to wake that up and, so July 18th. I can't wait to share it with the world.
Oh, I'm so excited. Andrea, thank you so much for stopping by. Everyone here, follow all the things at She Rises Fest on Instagram, at sherisesfest.com website. Find Facebook, She Rises Festival there. You can ask me questions anytime.
Kat, you're amazing.
Oh.
Thank you for supporting this.
Oh, honey, you have my whole everything.
Always.
Every
I'm still going to
fiber.
bring a private plane up for you. Just to get you there for half an hour.
Oh, that would be amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you again for coming on. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Bye, everyone.